Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of What Can We Eat, where we're going to explore the most important meal of the day, breakfast. Maybe it's been a hard Monday and you want to have breakfast for dinner tonight, or just save this one for Sunday breakfast. So we're actually going to do crepes with strawberry and Nutella. Stay tuned. So the first thing we need to do is make our batter, because this will need to sit in the fridge for about an hour to rest. So to make that batter, we're going to start with 2 cups of water, 1 cup of flour, that's just all-purpose flour, the good stuff, and 3 tablespoons of melted butter. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and blend just these 3 ingredients together first. Because that butter is melted and my eggs and milk are cold, I don't want that butter to re-solidify, so I want everything to stay nice and smooth. So just give it a few pulses before getting back to our other ingredients. Alright, let's get our last couple ingredients here. I got 2 eggs and 3/4 cup of milk. And watch me fumble to try to get all this pasty stuff off my spatula. Go ahead and get that cap back on, and we're going to give that 12, yes 12 exact pulses. You can count in the video, that's how many I did. That's 12. Alright, let's go ahead and take that spatula, push all that extra stuff down into the middle, make sure everyone gets nice and blended up. Give it just a few more pulses to make sure it's nice and mixed. Alright, so open that cap and see we've got a bunch of air bubbles forming, so this is the point where it needs to rest, and actually the point where I realized I forgot a pinch of salt. So dump that in. Give it just a few more pulses just to make sure everyone's mixed together. And this is going to go over to the fridge where this is going to rest for 1 hour. While we wait for that batter to rest, let's go ahead and chop up those strawberries. Now these do look a little bit weird and shiny and, dare I say, moist. These are actually frozen strawberries that I let thaw out. So they're still good though. Alright, so our batter has rested for an hour. Now it's time for the good part of making some crepes. I'm going to go ahead and get some butter down on this medium-high heat pan. And right about this point I realized I used a little too much butter. So this pan is pooling with butter. Don't use that much, so I dumped a little bit out just to give it a good coat. So what we're going to do here is have our blender cup with our batter. And we're going to pour just a little bit in the middle and let gravity kind of do the work. So swirl it around to get a coat around the sides. And yep, I still had too much butter in there. Anyway, once this first monstrosity has set, just let that cook for about a minute or so. When you can slide it around like this, it's probably ready for a good flip. So again, you can tell this looks more like an omelet than a crepe, so way too much butter, but this will be kind of our sacrificial lamb. Alright, so we've been flipping and adjusting this one about as much as it can handle. I think this one has gotten to be about as pretty as it's going to be. So let's put it on our pan and hold that in a 300-degree oven while we make the rest of our crepes. Alright, now that all that extra butter is out of the pan, this second one should come out much better. So let's go ahead and do the same thing, get our batter in the middle, let gravity swirl around and coat that whole pan. And once again, once that pan is coated, just go ahead and let that sit. It should take about a minute for our first side to be done. Loosen it up and give it a good flip. And I almost got this one. We're getting closer each and every time. Alright, looks like our second one is done on both sides. Just another quick flip to check it out and dump it on our warm pan in the oven. So just repeat that process, fill the middle of the pan, swirl it around, flip when one side's done, and then flip again into your warm pan in the oven until all your crepes are done. I was usually able to get about 7.5, or whatever this monstrosity is. And now we get to talk about the funnest part of this whole thing, is filling the crepes with some Nutella, which I microwaved for about 15 seconds so it's a little more workable and not as thick. Once you got just a good enough amount in there, go ahead and fold that once up one side and then kind of fan it a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and repeat that process 2 more times so we have 3 crepes, which is a good sensible portion. Next up, we'll go ahead and dust these with powdered sugar using a sifter. I like to put this part on before the strawberries so that red can really stand out when we put those down. And here's our final product. We have crepes with Nutella, powdered sugar, and strawberries. Nice little aerial shot to end the video for you.